Now that we're transitioning into the new normal, giving flexibility and giving back the control and the choice to the people really matters most. In fact, some people really make that as a make or break decision. People to make their choices as long as they're committed to deliver to the specific goals that you agree on. You are making them accountable for the deliverables, but not making them accountable for the time, for the shift, for the vacations that they will take. We can create the best design, but if it remains in your ivory tower, then nothing will happen to it. You really have to test it on the ground and see how it works. Because even the best designs could be broken if it's not tailor fit to the culture of the organization. Context is the key. I am an HR practitioner of 25 years in different facets of the industries, from your manufacturing to your professional services, logistics, banking, finance, technology, and also the BPO and the shared services space. I am proud to say that I am one of the pioneers in the Philippines in setting up the shared services industry here in Metro Manila and beyond. I'm also a personal wellness advocate. Because I am in HR, I have this opportunity to actually inject the practice of wellness.
When you were Becker and McKinsey, you managed to clinch an award for your company.
But thanks for mentioning that. I would like to say that it's not Eric Riego de Dios, but actually the Baker McKenzie team who actually endeavored to focus and to create the right kind of experience for our people. We have done that through, of course, focusing on our wellness. Even before the pandemic, Baker McKenzie has already recognized wellness as a pivotal and integral part of the life cycle or the journey of an employee. In Baker McKenzie, we're able to really focus on the different facets of wellness, not just your usual HMO or physiological wellness, so to speak, but also your spiritual aspect of it, financial wellness, and of course, mental wellness, which is now the buzzword. Even before that, we have already laid down the foundation of having an equitable and also a democratic wellness program for everyone.
What's the problem that you faced during then, and how do you come up with such a solution?
There's no real problem statement. I would like to say kudos to the team because it is not necessarily addressing a problem, but creating the opportunity to seize how we can impact the people and the business. All kinds of offering, providing different facets of your HMO or healthcare program, not only to your heterogeneous partnerships. Even if you're not yet married, we already provided us about more than 6 years ago when we did that. Before it became a buzz or a fad in the industry, Baker has already been providing LGBTQ partnership, HMO, health insurance, and even also breaching certain threshold where you can actually cover your parents. With Baker McKenzie, even if you're about 75, up to 75, we even cover your parents. But in a way that is really more encompassing because we break the barrier of age, we break the barrier of legalities when it comes to partnership, as we embrace the LGBTQ partnership as well. Even when you do adopt, we also apply a specific biological where we provide to biological parents who also provide to legally adopting parents, even the parental leave, even if you did not go through biologically giving birth, we provide that to you. Those are very generous leave terms. We are very proud of providing that. Talk about democratizing the program. Before, coaching is just for some of the few folks and key talents that we have. But even before this mental wellness issue came to be, Baker and McKenzie has already provided coaching for wellness and psychological safety for its people, regardless of its rank and tenure in the organization. That is the reason why the industry has recognized it as one of the pioneering organizations in terms of adopting these new programs and new ways of working and new ways of engaging through wellness.
At a core level, you created a lot of choice and freedom and diversity. Is it a flexible benefit plan?
To Baker and McKenzie, we are still pursuing that kind of flexibility, getting flexibility where it makes sense and where it is relevant to our business and to our people. Going through my journey, we actually have that as well in Globe Telecoms, where you have flexible benefits, which in fact is a great engaging factor. In the sustainable engagement score, Globe Telco is one of the top 20 globally as the strongest sustainable engagement score for the Willis Tower Swanson Sustainable Engagement Score. Providing flexibility, providing control really impacts engagement and experience of people. That is also true for Concentrix. I'm also a former employee of Concentrix, who is now recognized as the Wellness Company of the Year at the Asia CEO Awards for the Philippines. Can you just imagine 100,000 employees being vaccinated? And that's how many that they have. No one is left behind. It's a very big program. There's a lot of agility, there's a lot of effort, and there's a lot of love, because you really want to take care of each and every person within your organization.
In your experience in various companies, there is this ability to provide that choice and control to a people of varying degree depending on the context. That's the core, allowing people to have control over how cater to their lifestyle and their needs.
Now that we're transitioning into the new normal, giving flexibility and giving back the control and the choice to the people really matters most. In fact, some people really make that as a make or break decision if he or she is not able to work from home, for example. That's why organizations who are able to provide and give that control back to the people and ask them what works for them are the companies that would be engaging and having that sustainable engagement in the near future.
The array of various initiatives can be wide-ranging. It can be as basic as a HMO insurance plan for a particular individual to something more progressive, making a choice on how you like to get work done. Hybrid working arrangement, allowing people to decide how they're going to provide that value in different locations. It takes two hands to clap. On one hand, HR or the company can provide this option, but on the other hand, we need to have a fair agreement that we allow you to have this. What will you be able to do for the company that is mutually beneficial? How do we get people to be accountable?
People to make their choices as long as they're committed to deliver to the specific goals that you create. You are making them accountable for the deliverables, but not making them accountable for the time, for the shift, for the vacations that they will take. It's like marriage in a way, right? So there has to be a lot of trust, and you work towards that. And there has to be a lot of communication as well. There has to be constant communication. In that element, it's essentially the leaders, HR, the people. It's the great triumvirate, so to speak. And I think it will always be a success story when those three assets or elements of the organization work together. In Baker and McKenzie, we took out the biometrics, the logging in and logging out of people. At the onset, the leaders were saying, hey, how can I measure the overtime of the people? What we did is really involve and engage and communicate. We engage all of the leaders to really try to see the path. You create and you design the solutioning. You identify the risk. At the end of the day, they are the ones actually who had a lot of issues and concerns about this because they are the co-designers. In a way, you engage them and you make it easier for them to actually roll it out and enforce it because they are the ones who decided and made that decision and created the solutions. That created a great avenue for us. Now there's more accountability because it is not HR designed it, it's co-designed by them.
Or maybe design the best plan ever, but if it's not executed well on the ground, there's no accountability, there's no follow through, there is no trust because it has to be co-created the ground.
We can create the best design, but if it remains in your ivory tower, then nothing will happen to it. You really have to test it on the ground and see how it works. Because even the best designs could be broken if it's not tailor fit to the culture of the organization. Context is the key.
In your various experiences along this journey, did you encounter resistance on the ground?
Of course, I do welcome that. I want them to be very transparent at the onset because we will be facing a different problem when all of these issues and concerns are voiced out in the latter part of the process. You have to also create that psychological safety where everyone could actually speak their mind out. And of course, have that perspective and commitment that we are on the same team. We just want to exhaust all of the potential risks and issues and addressing all of the different stakeholders. When we have this idea or thought process, we test it first with the leaders, we call it all of the people leaders, and share with them our initial thought. It's really just a draft so that it's still open for iteration, for improvement, for customization. Like my example before, they will see it as their product, as their program or project, because we are co-creating it every step of the way. We are pilot testing it as well. We involve some key talents as well to ensure that we get input, making sure that there's a lot of empathy so that we make sure that all the kinks and issues are addressed.
For our colleagues who are watching this video, if they would like to learn from you, would you be willing to be connected with them through LinkedIn?
I believe check we that all of us who have gone through the journey in our profession, in our practice, we once stood at the shoulders of giants. I'm able to see farther because I stood at the shoulders of my mentors. I would like to give back. I'm happy to share my thoughts, my ideas, my passion, my purpose. And if we together could create a conflagration for our purpose, let's join and hands together.
Thank you so much, Eric, for this. Thank you.
Appreciate it. The pleasure is all mine.